What's good, YouTube channel? Back again with another video. These are 3 traits that she's going to love. You know, what I realize is a lot of you guys aren't that self-aware. You're not aware of how you're being perceived by people. You're not aware of how you're being perceived by women. This could be your girlfriend. This could be the girl that you're dating for the first time, first date, second date. It doesn't matter. A lot of you guys are not self-aware. And it's because the reason why I know this is because some women tell me that guys aren't self-aware, right? Because there's certain things that I think are completely normal, but maybe they're not. And let me just help you out in this video. So these are 3 traits that she's going to love. Trait number 1, and I can't stress this enough, is cleanliness, right? The way that your space looks is a reflection of who you are, right? The way that your space looks is a reflection of how you feel about yourself. So cleanliness is extremely important when you invite a girl over for the first time, or maybe, maybe it's not the first time. Anytime she comes over, like your space needs to be clean. Your space needs to be spotless. It needs to smell good. Something about myself, or something that I realize is when a girl comes over, she would say stuff like you're a man. Oh, you're a man. And I'm just what does this mean? And then I think about, back in college, I remember my roommates, one of my roommates had a girl coming over. The house was a mess. The house was a complete mess. And I'm like, when is she coming over? And he was like, yeah, she'll be here in about 5 minutes. I'm like, 5 minutes? We got trash everywhere. The house is filthy, bro. Like, what's going on? Like, how can you invite somebody over with the house looking like this, and you're not even worried about it? You're not even trying to clean up. You're just chilling. You're hanging out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, the mentality, like there's no way that I would be comfortable bringing a girl over if my house didn't look correct, right? There's no way. So I was just like, how are you comfortable? What I realized is a lot of guys will invite women over without cleaning their house, right? If it's not already clean, they don't even clean the house. It's just what it is. She'll come over, she'll look in the bathroom. You got, beard hair in the sink. You got hair on the toilet. You got, what I'm saying? You're not prepared. And these things don't go unnoticed. I'm telling you, when she comes over, she's going to be looking around. She's going to come over and see how you carry yourself, right? This is, that first impression. You can only make a first impression once. When she comes over for the first time, she comes in, she's looking around, right? She sees how you, keep up your kitchen. She sees what your kitchen looks like. She'll go to the bathroom and see what your bathroom looks like. Come on, man. For me, that's embarrassing. Like, it's embarrassing to have my place not in order. You know what I'm saying? So this is very imperative. Like, being clean is very important. I'm talking about being clean. I'm talking about your house smelling good. For me, I'm gonna always have candles. I'm gonna have candles in the kitchen. I'm gonna have candles in the living room. I have candles in the bathroom. Like, I'm telling you, like, this is very important. I'm very aware of how I'm being perceived. And also I just like my place being clean. I like being able to focus and think. These are very important. I'm telling you, she's gonna notice. She might be looking through your cabinets in the bathroom. I'm telling you, these things, women do these things. I'm telling you, I promise you, they do these things, and they're very aware of their surroundings. A lot of guys, if I'm being 100% honest, at first, maybe she was into you. She liked you. She was planning on giving you some, right? When she came over. But then she walked in and saw your house being a mess, and she changed her mind. And the reason why she changed her mind is because your space isn't comfortable for her, right? It's important especially for women. Like, women need to be in a space that's comfortable, because she's not going to feel safe if the space isn't comfortable, right? And I could talk about cleanliness. I could talk about the way that you even organize your stuff. The way that your home is set up is very important. You need to set up your home in a way that feels balanced. Like when you look at a picture, right? When you look at a painting, there's just something about a painting that feels right. You might not understand why it looks good, but you just know it looks good. That's because the painting is balanced. It has balance, right? If you understand videography, photography, you understand what, the rule of thirds, the balance. It goes like that in everything, not just painting pictures. It goes like this. This applies to people. This applies to the way that you set up your space. So me being aware of this, I can set up a space that's comfortable, that feels nice, that makes you want to relax, and makes you want to, that brings you in. And this is important to have that feng shui. And these are things to think about. So next time you invite someone over, if this is your girl, if this is your first date or whatever, make sure your home is clean. Make sure it's put together nicely, because this is a reflection of yourself. You don't make a first impression. You only make a first impression one time, so make a good impression. Trait number 2, physical fitness. Of course, I'm gonna talk about fitness. Of course, it's only right? Looking good is important. I always talk about looking good, but actually being strong is also important. There's gonna be a point in a relationship where she will ask you to pick her up. Now, this could be sexual, or it doesn't necessarily have to. She could just be seeing if you can pick her up. She wants to know if she can feel safe in your arms, right? Can you make her feel safe? If you can pick her up, she'll feel safe. If this is like a similar thing to why girls like taller guys. It's because they feel safe around taller guys, because they have this intimidating, believe it or not, it's like this intimidating look from just from height, especially being like extremely tall. When you're extremely tall, you just have this dominant presence, and you have a similar presence if you're jacked. This is why I think working out is extremely important, especially if you're not tall. If you're not a tall guy, man, you need to be in the gym. You need to create this dominant presence, right? She needs to feel safe around you. You need to create a presence that feels safe. Even, a lot of people talk about, like, with big dudes, like, oh, you can't beat me up or whatever. And it's not necessarily about being able to fight somebody, right? It's about you look like nobody's going to mess with you. Nobody's going to, target the tall guy. Nobody's going to target the guy who looks jacked. And this is something that you want to have about yourself. You want to have this presence about you, like this masculine presence about you, this aura, you know what I mean? This aura that nobody wants to mess with. That this guy there's something about this guy that I'm just not going to target. If somebody's out there to target you, they're not going to target the jack guy. They're not going to target the tall guy. This is why this is important. These guys, these characteristics are very important, because you look like you can protect her. And actually having the strength to go with your looks is actually very important, right? Yeah, I train for, hypertrophy, but I also train for strength. I trained for strength for so long. Like, I am very strong, So these go hand in hand. These are extremely important to have. Physical strength is important, because she needs to know that she can feel safe around you, right? Once you have the clean space and you have the muscles and you're strong and you can pick her up and you can, like, now she's more attracted to you. Like, he just carries himself in a way that most guys don't, that a lot of guys don't. And believe it or not, a lot of guys don't carry themselves this way. A lot of guys aren't fit. A lot of guys don't take care of the home. A lot of guys aren't like this, all right? Trait number 3 is emotional toughness. Now, I think this is a part of being masculine. When I think of someone who's masculine, I think of someone who's very in control over their life. I think of someone who's in control over their emotions. And I think this is extremely important, right? Not being swayed by your emotions is an important thing. I think this is a very attractive thing. I think women who find men who just aren't who have this emotional toughness, they will find them very attractive, because they're the type of guys who can make quick decisions without being emotional, right? And this is extremely important. You don't need to be making decisions out of emotion. Listen, if I'm having a conversation and it's like, we're arguing, let's just say we're arguing, right? We have a disagreement and I'm upset, right? I'm pissed. I'm not going to make a decision because of how I feel. I'm going to say, give me 10 minutes. Give me 10 minutes, right? Let me calm down, and then let's have the conversation again. I think this is a part of emotional toughness, because a lot of guys won't do this. A lot of people just make decisions. A lot of guys just make decisions because of how they feel. You talk about women being emotional. A lot of guys are extremely emotional, right? You would never catch me yelling at a girl ever. I don't care. She could yell at me and I'm sitting here talking to her normal, right? But guess what's going to happen? She's going to stop. She's going to cut that shit out like that, right? Because it's not fun yelling at someone who's not, it's not fun yelling at someone who's not yelling at you back. It's not fun giving someone this energy if they're not giving it to you back, right? She's going to stop. She's going to think about it. She's going to be like, why am I yelling, right? I'm telling you, this is going to happen. If she naturally, like, this is just not who I am. I'm just not like that. Like, I just never been like that. I've always been the cool, calm, and collected guy, right? I can think about how I feel. I can think about, what I'm going through and express it in an appropriate way. I like to do things that will progress things forward. Me yelling and she's yelling, that doesn't make any sense. So I've always been that cool, calm, and collected guy. I don't make decisions off of emotions. I'm not going to be emotionally in a place and make a dumb decision. I'm not going to ruin my life. A lot of guys even ruin their life because of emotions, right? I talk about a lot of guys are really emotional. And when guys are emotional, they make bad decisions. A lot of guys are in prison because they're so emotional. A lot of guys make dumb decisions because they're emotional, right? I don't make dumb decisions like this, right? I have a lot to think about. I have a lot that I want to accomplish. Why would I make a dumb decision because of how I feel? This is a part of emotional toughness, and this is a part of being masculine. This is an extreme masculine characteristic, being in control over your emotions. Don't be making dumb decisions because of how you feel, right? Sure, you're upset about a certain situation. Don't be stupid, bro. And that's it, guys. These are 3 traits that she's going to love. Think about it. I'm telling you, this is going to change the game for you. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and I see you guys in the next one. The things I want for myself are the same things I want for you guys.